Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jadesola, and if you've been following my channel, you would know that I share a lot of content around how people can transition into tech from any background basically. But I'm not sure I've shared my story, or maybe I've not even shared it in details, and I thought that it would be nice for me to share my own story about how I transitioned from marketing into fintech and just being a product manager today. So I'll take you back a little bit to my background in what I studied in school. So I actually studied electrical and electronics engineering in school. Now, before anybody starts to say, oh, so you're technical, then I am not remotely technical. I'm one of those people that went to study the course that I went to study without even knowing why I went to study it. Right? While I did well in school, I realized that I didn't connect with a lot of the subjects that I was learning. I couldn't relate them to real life. I just couldn't. And I struggled, and specifically with programming courses, I failed the two programming courses that I took in school. Failed them woefully. Now, after uni, I had to go and do 1 year compulsory service, which we do in Nigeria. And all I had in my mind was that possibly that would give me some sort of direction as to what I was going to do in life, because when I finished school, I didn't have a clear direction. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get the experience that I was thinking I was going to get from that 1 year work experience right after school. I thought I was going to be posted to maybe some oil and gas company, and then from there start to grow my career. Little did I know that I was going to be posted to a factory where they manufacture noodles, and they didn't even know where to place me. They had to place me with some of the factory workers that were sealing the condiments inside the noodles. Other times I would join the mechanical engineer who would fix some of the machines when they were broken. And I didn't think that my experience for that 1 year would be me coming home smelling like pepper and some seasoning for noodles. But that was what I ended up doing for the 1 year service that I had to do. So right after service, it was now time to go into the real world on my own and try to figure out a career for myself. And I'm not going to lie to you, again, I was so confused. What I did was to enroll myself in a modeling school, and then I started to model. So when I tell you my journey has been like this, it has really been like that. So I ended up, modeling for about a year, did like pageant competition, runway photography, just different modeling gigs was what I was doing. But modeling was not paying my bills. As a matter of fact, I was suffering because I think that it got to a stage that I was desperate just to have some regular job that was going to be taking me out of the house again. My sister spoke to one of her friends who was in banking at the time, and hey, my sister is looking for a job. If you have any opening in your company, let me know. And she said, oh yeah, we're actually looking for someone in the marketing team in the consumer banking department, and that I could submit my CV. And I submitted my CV, ended up getting the job. Now, for me, getting the job in banking, in business development, I had no idea what the financial sector was even about. And I was thrown into a role where I needed to look for clients who wanted to borrow money, either personally or get working capital for their business. That was basically my job. And I would go out and literally canvass, enter people's offices and ask them to come and take loans and sell the product to them. And then I realized that I was really good at convincing people to come and take, consumer loans or business loans from my company. Not only was I even getting good at selling, I also got really, really good at understanding what the credit risk team, what they were always looking at to approve loans for customers. And really, this was where I would say maybe the turning point was for me, because what I now started to do was to start to profile the customers that I was bringing in to also increase my conversion. So there was a really good chance that anyone that I spoke to or that I was getting their documents to come was a client that would most likely convert. So I really started to understand how lending works, the business of lending, how we can structure transactions. And I decided to get really, really good at that. And then when I got the opportunity to now become the team lead of my department, I think this was still like within the first year of me on the job, I now had the opportunity of now customizing the lending products that I was offering to my clients for different needs that they had. And this also came from me listening to the customers saying, hey, I want to take this loan to pay my daughter's school fees, or I want to take this loan to pay my house rent. I started to create products around, hey, you can take this loan for school fees. It's the same loan product, but packaged as a school fees loan product, or a rent payment loan product, or a holiday or travel loan product. It was the same product, same criteria that you would use to profile the customer. But this time around, I'd created them with maybe one or two unique requirements that speaks to the fact that they were being used for a specific purpose. For example, school fees loan, I could say you would give us like the invoice from the school as evidence that your child's school fees is this amount. And then we would finance either that amount or a certain percentage of that amount for you. Just getting creative around the everyday needs of customers and what they were using the loan products that I was originally selling to them for. And really, this was how I started to develop my product sense, basically. And eventually, when the opportunity came to start to leverage technology to offer loan products to customers online in a way that they could apply for the same loan that we would drive around to their offices to sell to them, they asked me to actually champion that course. And that was really how I got into fintech, so to speak. I had to work with external developers who built the application, and I leveraged my own knowledge of what a typical customer journey trying to take a loan from the bank was, leveraged that and translated that into requirements for the developers. The other part was also my understanding of how internal processes work within the organization, and I was also able to leverage that knowledge to manage processes and automate how applications were moving from buckets to buckets till they were disbursed. And really, this was the genesis of me really tinkering with technology to offer products and services to customers. And I think I also got lucky because of the type of boss that I was working with, because he did see a lot of potential in me, and he encouraged me to experiment with so many things. And it was like I had a 9 to 5, but I was like an entrepreneur within the organization. So any new thing that they wanted to do that had to do with technology, I would champion it. And even if it didn't have anything to do with technology, I think I was championing a lot of things. And that gave me a lot of visibility within the organization, and also allowed me to see end-to-end processes of how things really, really work. And then fast forward to 2013, one of the products that I had developed to finance household appliances for our customers, we decided to take that online and leverage technology to offer that to customers, providing them with the opportunity of being able to buy the product and then see the breakdown of how much they were going to be paying if they were buying that product in installments and we were financing. And I would probably say that this was the time that they added the title product manager to my job title officially. And then working on this new product really allowed me to just spread my tentacles and really reach into everything that I had learned and all my experiences, draw from all my other experiences as well. Because this time around, with the product that we were thinking about, it wasn't just that we wanted to finance. We also needed to add a little bit of e-commerce experience to it, allowing the customers to shop for the product and then pay for it in installment. And I had to leverage my experience at that time from shopping on e-commerce platforms like ASOS and New Look. And then I thought about my own journey from buying on these websites and translated that into the requirements for the developers to build. And then eventually this particular product became a success to the point that it had to be registered, and then I became the CEO of the company. And then this now became like the start of my journey into running a tech startup. And after running this e-commerce company for a while, offering installment payment options to customers who were shopping on the website, I was also able to launch other fintech companies around lending, e-commerce checkout payment options, buy now, pay later, and the rest of it. And with all these experiences that I was gaining, I was also able to offer product management consulting services to financial institutions and tech startups. And it really helped me to just continue to have a wider range of knowledge across different industries and just building products in general. And it was these same experiences that I gathered over the years that I was able to leverage to get a job as a product manager in a fintech company when I came to the UK. One of the things that my experience in marketing helped me with was to gain a lot of insights about the target customers. I knew their pain points, I understood their journey, I knew exactly what they were using the loans they were taking for. And really that was what helped me to gain the confidence to lead digital transformation around lending within the bank that I was working at, and also lead tech companies as I continued to progress in my career. For a lot of people that I speak with, when they're thinking about transitioning into tech, some of them are not able to even think about where they are currently and the knowledge that they have. What I've seen in today's landscape, and even judging from my experience, is that your educational background doesn't really matter these days. Your experience and the skills that you've gathered over the years are the things that really count. But then again, when people want to transition into tech, they are always faced with that. How do I gain experience when I don't have any? And what I always tell them is there are times that you already have the experience. In my case, I already had the knowledge of how lending, business, and product works. I had knowledge of how borrowers think. I had knowledge of how to collect monies back after you've given it to a customer. So I had a knowledge of the entire chain, from how to acquire a customer to disbursing loans to them to collecting the monies back. I had that entire knowledge, so I wasn't completely like a novice, so to speak. So I had that experience, and there are people that already have that experience as well, and they can leverage whatever experience they have and then translate that into the same sort of vertical within the tech industry. So in my case, I was in banking and then moved on to fintech, and then you could be a nurse and then move to health tech. You could be a teacher and then move to ed tech. You could be a marketer and then move to marketing technology companies, because you already have the knowledge. And there are ways for you to easily transition into a lot of these roles with your existing knowledge. Now, if you now don't have the knowledge, or you're trying to change your career completely, in tech, for example, they really value that experience. And I would always tell people who reach out to me, you need to find a way of gaining those experiences, because they actually really matter. Either you are looking for internships, or you're volunteering, or you're doing freelance jobs, or doing personal projects. You need to find a way of gaining the experience that you need in order to get into a lot of the tech roles that may be available and that really pay well. Another thing you can do is to also try to upskill yourself in places where you feel or you know that you are very deficient in. So if you have to take courses, by all means, go and take courses. If you have to spend some time using free materials on platforms like YouTube, spend all the time you need to upskill yourself. If you have to go and get one-to-one coaching or mentorship, do all that you need to do to gain the insights that you need. And if you're confused about the kind of role that you're looking for in tech, I would say spend some time to figure that out. Don't just pick something because it's popular. try to find out as much information about what the day-to-day of that particular role entails, or the kind of skills that are required to actually get into such roles. You can decide to watch a lot of a day in the life videos that people create on TikTok, on YouTube. It will give you an idea of what the day-to-day of some of those roles are, and that may also guide you as well into being able to streamline your thoughts on the things that you want to do within the tech industry. Anyways, I hope that my story has helped someone who is trying to transition into tech from its specific background. And if you've transitioned into tech from an unconventional background, I'd really love to hear your story and possibly invite you to come onto my channel to even share your story. Please feel free to add your comments in the comment section, and then I'll reach out to you as well. So I've come to the end of this video. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you next time. Bye.